Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Mensur to throw first. Game on.
Chris Murphy in the commentary box and me, Dan Dawson, for this one.
I'm sure that was an ambition of his, Dan, to be the greatest German-speaking dart player. But it's one that's been fulfilled. And yes, Krzysztof Ratajski has been fabulous in qualifying for every European Tour event he's tried to qualify for so far this year, giving no one else in Poland a chance.
60.
Mensur Suljovic, as you mentioned, was the second best player on the European Tour last year, and the second best player in the European Championship itself. But we've seen the number 4 seed and the number 6 seed in Whitlock and Wade eliminated from this tournament. We're about to see 3, 2 and 1 in consecutive matches. Will any of them go the same way? Suljovic hasn't been beaten at this stage of a European Tour event since September 2015.
Well, Ratajski, even though he has qualified for all the European Tour events so far this year, he has not gone past the last 32 stages yet. Could this be the time? And he must feel some sort of, the pressure is off a bit, because the way they do these qualifiers, they're doing 3 at a time. He qualified for the first 3 all on the same night, qualified for the next 3 all on the same night, and so he gets to come into this thinking, well look, I know I'm going to be at the next 2, and it's only some of the top seeds who know that they can be in whichever tournaments they want. The other guys have got to come through various qualifiers that might be held later down the line. They might think, this is my last chance for a while.
Had this conversation with Paul Nicholson yesterday, and he concurred to your line of thinking there, Dan, as Suljovic lands double 18 to take the first leg. But yeah, when you're an unseeded player, especially coming through the UK and European qualifiers, you're not sure when you're next going to appear on the European Tour stage, and that in itself brings a bit of added pressure. Okay, for this one, they did the qualifiers for Gibraltar on the same night, so some players know that they'll definitely be playing next weekend as well. The other side of it is not a lot of players like doing 2 in 1 night.
Hey, look, with 25 grand on offer for the winner, and when, you know, go back 3 years and we had 8 different winners from 8 events, it is quite possible that you see new winners on the European Tour. Okay, Michael van Gerwen has dominated over the last few years, but other guys have stepped up. Mensur Suljovic won his first PDC title on the European Tour, and Mensur Suljovic has fired in a 180 as he looks to break the Ratajski throw. Winner of this will face Joe Cullen, who was not spectacular, but was very, very good at taking out some crunch clutch finishes against Johnny Clayton. Made a very dangerous opponent look rather timid by the end of it. Won it 6-1. Ulf, 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 Ulf. 3,000 German fans doing a seal impression there in honour of Ulf Cedar, the Finn, who we will see in the 3rd round tomorrow afternoon. Cedar, a winner against Cristo Reyes earlier. Ratajski missing out
25
on his first maximum. 86 for Mensur, can do it in 2 darts. It's on. And it's there. It's an 11 dart break of throw. And Mensur Suljovic has started this in the manner of somebody who is number 3 seed for this tournament, dominating in the early stages. However, Chris, we like to dig around the stats and see when players have met each other in the past, see if we could read anything into what's happened in their recent history. What has happened between these two when they've met before?
Well, the pair have met twice in the final of a European Championship.
Really?
Yeah, Krzysztof Ratajski won both of those finals. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, they were using slightly different equipment. This is soft tip.
82.
Soft tip darts, very big in mainland Europe, very big out in the Far East as well. A lot of soft tip played, especially here in Germany, but Austria and Poland, all over in fact.
99.
Majority of darts bars you go into, you often find that soft tip machines outnumber steel tip boards. And Mensur did play a lot of soft tip stuff. He's a guy who started on soft tip and moved over to steel tip darts. But the 2 times that he has met Krzysztof Ratajski, 2005 and 2008, both in finals, both in European Championship final stage events, he was beaten. The gentle out for some revenge tonight.
Certainly is, and the first steel tip meeting between the pair. And I'll tell you what, Mensur Suljovic is serving it up to Krzysztof Ratajski so far, averaging well in excess of 100 after 2.5 legs. Ratajski a long way behind in that department, and he could well find himself 3 legs down if Suljovic can take out a big finish.
Oof, just a little bit high.
60.
But not the end of the world that he only comes away with 60, because he does leave a 2-darter. Krzysztof Ratajski needs to find the treble. Does find the treble. Double top. Oh, sneaks it in the corner. It is a break back for Ratajski.
Full flag, Krzysztof to throw first. Game on.
Well, that was snuck in that top corner, as you said, Dan. Footballer would have been proud of one like that. But Ratajski, we're proud of that visit. 139 to kick off this leg, and all of a sudden it looked like Suljovic was running away with it. The pole has pegged him back.
Well, look, Ratajski, although he doesn't play any other PDC stuff, the way he's going, I mean, he's going to, at the end of this tour, even if he lost this game to Mensur Suljovic, he'd have still won 7 grand of PDC prize money. That puts him round about the top 100 in the world. He's above the likes of Ryan the Lion Palmer and Adam Hunt. And we know he's going to pick up more money in the next 2 events. And the way that he is dominating qualifying, he could well not only keep on pushing up those rankings, but he is very, very likely to go on and make the European Championship final itself. That's guaranteed a few £1,000s the first round, and he could well have a run. I mean, he's played major tournaments. He played the Lakeside just a few months ago, and he made the 2nd round. He was only beaten deciding set by Darius Labanauskas.
Yeah, if you just look at it without taking into account how little he plays in the PDC, it seems like something of a mismatch, because before this tournament was 105 places below his opponent in the world rankings. It doesn't really tell the story.
No, well, look, evidently Krzysztof Ratajski is not a man who right now wants to be spending every other weekend at the Barnsley Metrodome. Now, that is his right. I cannot understand that decision. They've got a pirate-themed water park, but he has decided that he doesn't want to do that. So he's not done Q School. He's played these European qualifiers, and he has acquitted himself very well.
I just prefer the big stage. No signs of stage fright. He's about to give Mensur a fright, though.
Don't bust it, Mensur.
83.
There we go.
Krzysztof, you require 84.
84 then, to level up. Straight in the treble. And he clip it off.
Game shown, the full flag.
He could just chuck it straight in. And from 2-0 down to the number 3 seed and the European Championship runner-up of last year, the 2nd best player in the whole European Tour system of darts,
100.
Krzysztof Ratajski, the Eastern European qualifier, has levelled the match at 2 apiece and is giving as good as he's getting, even if the averages,
100.
There's a bit of a difference between them. When I say a bit, I mean 20 points.
More than. Yeah, just like to just remind us that he can hit whatever he wants, Suljovic, doesn't he, with his use of the bull.
I think that's his old soft tip days shining through. They love a bullseye, the soft tip players.
Well, it never did him any good against Ratajski, did it?
It didn't. You're right. You're quite right. And maybe Krzysztof should remind him of that. I would point out that Mensur Suljovic, despite losing those 2 European Championship soft tip titles to Krzysztof Ratajski, he did win several anyway. In fact, one of those denied Suljovic defending that title. The other one, it denied him winning it for a 3rd time in 4 years. There are 2 different codes who are running the tournaments, but Mensur was a very, very successful soft tip player, and we always knew he had talent. You know, we saw him turn up at the Worlds a few years back and looked a dangerous player, an awkward player, a confusing player to watch.
59.
But one we have come to know and love and respect, because he has got better and better and better and is now a genuine threat in big tournaments. Oh, he nearly bust it there, but he hits double top. It has been a tournament of silly busts and almost more silly busts.
We have seen some things on the European Tour, haven't we? But yeah, Henderson in the previous match. Not quite up there with the Devon Peterson style of busting.
No, we do like. Devon is always good for a miscalculation. Not always good, just occasionally.
He once did an ultimate showboat bust where the dart that he bust with fell out of the board.
Big Dev. Not here this weekend.
140.
We'll be seeing Devon at the World Cup of Darts. We'll be seeing Krzysztof at the World Cup of Darts for Poland. We will be seeing Mensur at the World Cup of Darts for Austria.
95.
And of course that World Cup of Darts here in Germany.
Frankfurt at the start of next month.
And it is a hotbed, isn't it, for darts fans, Germany. They come out in their droves to watch these Aerosmiths.
3,000 in here tonight. Similar number for tomorrow with a final day of action here at the Happy Bet European Darts Grand Prix. Will Mensur Suljovic be competing in that final day, looking for a 2nd PDC title? Well, right now, he's got a battle on his hands, because the Polish champion, who's beaten him in 2 soft tip finals and may look at the bullseye here.
145.
Love a bullseye, the soft tippers.
Yeah, it's a good leave.
95.
He could have left whatever he wanted, because Suljovic, he's not in town at the minute. Double top.
Game shown at 6
solid
leg.
stuff.
Krzysztof
6 leg
Ratajski.
shared.
7th leg Mensur.
Suljovic should open up that 2-leg cushion early on and look to run away with it. But it's not going to be like that for the gentle.
58.
Certainly not looking that way.
This is a man, we talk about him being the 2nd best player on the European Tour last year. This is a man who made it to at least the quarterfinals in every event. In fact, when he didn't make it to the quarters of the European Darts Tournament in Jena, that was the first time in well over a year.
That's
64.
That is an astonishing record.
Lost to Kyle Anderson there.
When you've seen some of the standard of darts that have been produced
60.
by unseeded players, and indeed, you know, he could face Joe Cullen in the next round if he gets through this. Well, he will face Joe Cullen if he gets through this. I mean, Joe Cullen, I recall, in this very venue 2 years ago, denied Raymond van Barneveld a place in the quarterfinals, even though Barney averaged 111. Joe Cullen talked about that earlier on today. He said that was kind of the start of my second coming. I averaged 110. I beat Barney on this stage, beat him 6-2. You average 111, you only get 2 legs. So to actually make it through to a quarterfinal in every single event, I mean, it's just an astonishing achievement. I know not everybody's throwing 110 averages at you, but people are throwing big, big stuff at you, and you have to deal with it. And it's some big stuff from Krzysztof Ratajski to get to a finish before Mensur.
And we've been saying that the soft tippers love a bullseye. Or Ratajski could be shooting at one. As he steps up, needing 161. Once Suljovic has stumbled out of the way. And he might get a dart.
It is on. Oh, fraction away. But a great set-up shot in the end. And Mensur Suljovic will hope for 2 darts for the leg. May get one, should get one. Needs a single 20 to get any at all. That's what he's got. 1 dart at tops. And 1 dart at tops is all he needs. And the Mensur headbutt, it's a double headbutt, because you know it's an important one if he brings out the double headbutt.
Game on.
Yeah, clinical curl from Suljovic. Mentioned that run was ended of reaching quarterfinals in Jena, but he has reached the last 8 in the other 2 European Tour events this year. Beaten by Gerwin Price in Hildesheim and Jelle Klaassen in Saarbrücken. And that's what he's found, isn't it, Mensur Suljovic, over the last couple of years? A level of consistency that just was not there before.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, I think he's also raised his overall level, because Mensur is a guy. I talked about Raymond van Barneveld losing with 111 average. Mensur Suljovic has beaten Michael van Gerwen when he's been throwing 110 plus. In fact, that was at the same tournament I'm talking about. At this venue, at the Glaspalast, Michael van Gerwen 111 average, Mensur Suljovic 109 and won it 6-4. That was a game where they were barging into each other at the water table and all kinds of antics. It was phenomenal entertainment. Oh. Ratajski, he keeps firing a couple of darts into the treble bed. And look at that average. It was 20 points difference in the average. It is now closed to around about 8.
Just decides to play a game of musical statues before Ratajski can have a shot of this 161, and he's put him right up. Lovely little trick, Mensur.
Absolutely superb stuff from that. Mensur Suljovic throws his darts and butts his head, hits the treble, 19 bed, Vogue. Oh, look what he's left. It's the Mensur! Does he miss the Mensur? He does miss the Mensur. 2 darts at it. He missed 7 darts at it and went out the tournament last time in Saarbrücken.
We've seen some strange legs of darts involving Mensur Suljovic. That is right up there. Frozen mid-throw, misses double 14, almost loses a leg.
Mensur require 14.
Double 7. And there it is. The bonus about leaving double 14 a lot is you get some good practice on double 7 eventually. And that leg, that weird leg from Mensur Suljovic may be the one that turns this match in his favour. Ratajski had his chances, but Mensur Suljovic is now thrown for the match and a place in the last 16.
I'll tell you what, if he was playing one of the speedier players, he might have had a dart in the back of his head then.
Look at that. 71% on the doubles from Mensur Suljovic, and the 2 that he's missed were at double 14. Is this Mensur Suljovic?
99.
Is there another giant Austrian man who throws in this exact manner and headbutts imaginary opponents in celebration, but just doesn't hit double 14? Oh, Mensur.
Well, he's doing a pretty good impersonation, whoever he is.
It could be Joe Cullen. He does.
Suljovic misses match dart.
Krzysztof the throw first.
Ratajski breaks.
1 dart missed on the ball. 2 darts, missed on double 8. And now the question is, Mensur, should you have gone for the big finish? Should you have just laid up and left yourself something else?
100.
Because Krzysztof Ratajski, with some iron ring stuff, a 1-2-3 checkout to save his skin and remain in the tournament, he is throwing to take it to a deciding leg.
60.
This game looked done and dusted. It is far from done or dusted. Because the Polish champion has fired in a ton 40. And look at the averages now, just closing up again, although this might push them a bit further apart.
And he's actually got a better checkout percentage than Suljovic now.
2 missed at double 14, 2 at double 8, and 1 at the bullseye. But Ratajski, he's flowing! He is flowing! The first 180, been threatening to fire in one of those for quite some time. Mensur might have one back. It's only a ton 40, but Krzysztof Ratajski, for his best leg of the match, he's got to go 12 bull. He can't let Mensur have another go at the 161, can he?
Well, he's having a think, and he's beaten Suljovic a couple of times before.
Oh, dear me.
And he's decided to play a mind game with a man who's got the better of in a different game. But now Suljovic has got a chance at 161. Hasn't anymore. It probably won't matter.
65.
But it was a little bit cheeky.
Krzysztof, you require
It was bold when he's just missed the bullseye in the last leg. But he has to take it out to vindicate the decision to do it. And he hasn't done that. And Mensur's looking at 96 for the match. It has been a strange one, this. It has been a strange one, but an entertaining one. And double 9 for Mensur will seal the deal. And the Gentle continues his record of not losing at this stage of a Euro Tour for a couple of years. What a game of darts we've just seen. Krzysztof Ratajski taking the defeat graciously. Perhaps a man who knows he will be back on the Euro Tour, not only next week, but in the next tournament as well.